The big space battle was not going well for the humans. Elise Mason gripped her control panel as her ship shook. She was the commander of the small Earth Defense Squadron, and right now, she was watching her team die one by one. The alien ship was beautiful and deadly. It looked like a giant crystal shining blue and purple in the darkness of space. It moved faster than any ship Elise had ever seen. Earth's best weapons barely scratched it. "Taylor, move your ship to Sector 4. Elise shouted into her comm. "Jordan, provide covering fire," but it was too late. Taylor's ship exploded in a ball of orange fire. Jordan's followed seconds later. The alien weapon was some kind of energy beam that cut through Earth shields like they were paper. Elise was alone now. Her ship, the UES Defiant, was the last one, left between Earth and the alien invader. Red lights flashed all around her. Warning alarms rang in her ears. Her ship's computer spoke in a calm voice. "Hull breach on decks 3 through 7. Life support failing. Weapons offline." "Lily, give me options," Elise said to her armor's AI system. "Survival probability is less than 20%. The gentle female voice of her armor's AI responded inside her helmet. "Recommend emergency. Jump to..." Before Lily could finish, a strange blue light surrounded the Defiant. Elise felt her ship stop moving. The stars outside her view screen blurred as the alien vessel pulled her ship toward it. "They're using some kind of tractor beam," Elise said. She tried to fire the emergency thrusters, but nothing happened. "Lily, send emergency message to Earth Command. Tell them..." The blue light grew brighter and Elise felt a strange pressure in her head. Then everything went black. When Elise opened her eyes, she was no longer on her ship. She lay on a smooth floor that seemed to glow with a soft light. Slowly, she got to her feet. Her battle armor was still intact, its black and silver plates moving smoothly as she stood up. The helmet's visor showed her that the air was breathable, but she kept it sealed anyway. The room around her was huge. The ceiling rose at least 30 feet above her head. The walls curved in strange angles that somehow felt wrong to her human eyes. Everything glowed with the same soft blue light. It reminded her of the inside of a cathedral, but one built by beings with a very different idea of beauty. "Your primitive vessel has been destroyed," a voice said. It sounded female, but with strange musical tones that no human voice could make. "Your crew has been processed." Elise spun around. Standing at the far end of the room was a slender figure. As it walked closer, Elise could see it was shaped mostly like a human woman, but there were obvious differences. Her skin was blue and seemed to shine from within. She had no hair, but a sort of crest that rose from her head. Her eyes were large with no whites, just pools of glowing violet. She wore what looked like armor too, but it seemed to flow like liquid metal around her body. "Who are you?" Elise asked, her hand moving to the weapon at her hip. But the gun was gone. The alien smiled, showing teeth that were too white and too sharp. "I am Princess Zara of the Vexari Empire. This is my ship, the Starlight Blade, and you are now my prisoner." Zara walked around Elise, looking her up and down. "Your species sends its warriors in these primitive shells?" She reached out and tapped Elise's armored shoulder. "How have you survived this long in the cosmos?" Elise said nothing. Inside her helmet, Lily's voice whispered, "Scanning alien biology, collecting data on ship systems. Recommend maintaining silence to avoid giving tactical information." Zara seemed amused by Elise's silence. "Your armor is interesting. Our scans show it's more advanced than the rest of your technology. Is it some kind of relic you found? Something left behind by a greater species?" Still, Elise remained quiet. She was using this time to observe the room, looking for exits, for weapons, for anything she could use. "No matter," Zara said with a wave of her hand. "We will learn all we need to know when we take it apart. After we're done with you, of course." The princess turned and walked toward a wall. It opened like water parting, creating a doorway. "Guards, take the human to containment cell 3. Begin scanning procedures for its armor." 2 tall figures entered. They looked similar to Zara but were broader, with darker blue skin. They carried long staffs that crackled with energy at the tips. One gestured for Elise to follow. "Lily," Elise whispered inside her helmet. Begin countermeasures. Don't let them scan anything important. Already done, Commander, Lily replied. I've activated the armor's stealth protocols. They'll only see what we want them to see. Elise followed the guards through corridors that seemed to shift and change as they walked. Other aliens stopped to stare at her. Some looked afraid, others curious. All kept their distance. The cell they put her in wasn't what she expected. There were no bars, no walls, just a circle marked on the floor. When she stepped inside it, a field of energy rose around her like a bubble of light. The princess will return to speak with you again, one guard said. She is curious about your kind. After they left, Elise finally spoke aloud. Lily, what's our situation? Not good, Commander, the AI replied. I estimate we are on a ship approximately 10 times the size of our largest Earth vessel. It appears to be headed toward Earth. Based on current speed, we will arrive in less than 3 days. Any way to contact home? Negative. All communications are blocked by the ship's energy field. Elise nodded. She finally took off her helmet, revealing her face. She had dark skin, short black hair, and determined brown eyes. A small scar ran across her left cheek, a reminder of her first space battle years ago. Then we need to find a way to escape, or at least to warn Earth about what's coming. She walked to the edge of her energy prison and looked out at the alien ship. What do we know about these Vexari? Very little, Lily said. They don't match any known alien species in my database. Their technology is far beyond what we've encountered before. But there's something strange about this ship. What do you mean? The energy readings are unstable. Some systems seem to be failing, and I'm detecting large areas of the ship that are unoccupied. Elise frowned. A damaged ship? Or maybe... A thought occurred to her. Maybe they need a new home. Before she could think more about this, the energy field rippled. Princess Zara walked through it as if it wasn't there. She was alone this time. I hope your accommodations are adequate, she said with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Now, human, let's talk about your planet. How many of these armored warriors does Earth have? How strong are your planetary defenses? Elise looked the alien princess in the eye. Strong enough to stop you. Zara laughed, a sound like crystal bells. I doubt that very much. But we'll find out soon enough, won't we? As the princess turned to leave, Elise called out, Why are you doing this? Why attack us? Zara paused. For a moment, her confident mask slipped, and Elise saw something like fear in those alien eyes. Because we have no choice, she said softly. Then she was gone, passing through the energy field. Alone again, Elise sat down on the floor of her cell. Lily, record everything. Find any weakness in their systems. We have 3 days to save Earth. Yes, Commander, the AI replied. Shall I continue mapping the ship? Elise nodded. Yes. And see if you can find out what they're afraid of. Because something tells me the Vexari aren't the real enemy here. Outside her cell, the beautiful alien ship continued its journey toward Earth, carrying both a threat and a mystery that Elise was determined to solve. Days passed in the prison of light. Elise lost track of time. There were no day or night cycles on the alien ship. The blue glow stayed the same all the time. She slept when she was tired and woke when her body decided it had rested enough. The only thing that marked the passing of time was Princess Zara's visits. The alien royal came once every day, always alone, always asking questions about Earth and its defenses. And always, Elise refused to answer. Your stubbornness is admirable but pointless, Zara said during her latest visit. We've conquered 17 star systems before yours. Earth will be the 18th. Elise sat cross-legged in the center of her energy cell. Her armor was still on, though she often removed the helmet when alone. Now, with Zara present, the helmet was firmly in place, hiding her expressions from the alien. Then why am I still alive? Elise finally spoke. Her voice came out with a mechanical edge through the helmet speakers. Zara's luminous eyes narrowed. Scientific curiosity. Your armor technology interests our engineers. It seems to adapt to damage, to learn from it. almost as if it were alive. Elise said nothing. Inside her helmet, Lily whispered, "She's trying to get you to talk about the integration process. Recommend continued silence on this subject." The princess circled the energy bubble, studying Elise. "We've scanned it, you know. The metal is like nothing we've seen before. It repairs itself, it changes. No other species we've encountered has anything like it." "Maybe you haven't encountered enough species," Elise said. A small smile played on Zara's blue lips. "Ah, she speaks again. Perhaps we're making progress." The princess waved her hand and a floating chair appeared. She sat down gracefully. "Let's try a different approach. Tell me about yourself, human. Not your world's defenses, just you. Do you have a family? People who miss you?" Elise tilted her head. "Why do you care?" "As I said, curiosity." Zara leaned forward. "Our species look similar in many ways. I wonder if we think alike too." "We're nothing alike," Elise said. "I don't destroy worlds for fun." Anger flashed across Zara's face. "You know nothing about why we do what we do." "Then tell me," Elise challenged. But the princess stood up, the chair vanishing as she did. "Enough for today. Perhaps tomorrow you'll be more cooperative." She turned to leave, then paused. "By the way, we'll reach your Earth tomorrow. If you wish to save any particular part of it, now would be the time to speak." After Zara left, Elise removed her helmet and took a deep breath. "Lily, update? I've mapped 87% of the accessible ship systems," the AI replied. "I've also intercepted some interesting communications. Tell me." "The ship is operating at reduced power. Several major systems are barely functioning. And I've confirmed what we suspected. This isn't an invasion fleet. It's a refugee convoy." Elise stood up and paced within the confines of her energy cell. "So they're running from something. Something big enough to scare an empire that's conquered 17 worlds." "Yes, and based on their communications, whatever it is, it's following them," Lily said. "They call it the Void Eater in their language." "Void Eater? Sounds cheerful," Elise muttered. "Any idea what it is?" "Negative. Their references are vague, almost as if they're afraid to speak of it directly. But it appears to be capable of destroying entire star systems." Elise stopped pacing. "And they're leading it straight to Earth." "That appears to be the case." Elise punched the energy field in frustration. It rippled but held firm, sending a painful shock up her arm. Her armor absorbed most of it, the black plates briefly glowing red as they distributed the energy. "We need to get out of here, Lily. Find me a way. I've been analyzing the energy field. It fluctuates on a regular cycle. There's a 3-second window every 4 hours when it weakens slightly. Enough for me to break through? Uncertain. The armor would need to channel maximum power to the impact points. It would drain our reserves significantly." Elise nodded. "How long until the next window?" 43 minutes. Then we get ready. We may only get one shot at this." For the next 40 minutes, Elise prepared. She did stretches to loosen her muscles. She checked every plate of her armor, making sure it was sealed properly. Inside the helmet, Lily ran diagnostic after diagnostic, rerouting power systems to prepare for their escape attempt. "Window approaching in 60 seconds, Lily announced. Elise took a deep breath and moved to the edge of the energy field. She placed her hands against it, feeling the slight buzz of electricity against her armored palms. 30 seconds. She stepped back and took a fighting stance. 10 seconds, 9, 8. Elise focused all her attention on a single point in the energy field. 3, 2, 1. Now! Elise lunged forward, her armor glowing as it channeled power to her right fist. She slammed it into the energy field with all her strength. The field sparked and flickered. For a moment, it looked like it would hold. Then, with a sound like breaking glass, it shattered. Alarms immediately began to wail throughout the ship. Red lights flashed in the corridor outside her cell. Guards approaching from both directions, Lily warned. 2 from the left, 3 from the right. Elise looked both ways. Which way to the nearest escape pod? Left corridor. Then second right, third left, and straight ahead. Elise ran left. She rounded a corner and nearly collided with two Vexari guards. They raised their energy staffs, but Elise was faster. Her combat training kicked in. She ducked under the first swing, came up inside the guard's reach, and delivered a powerful uppercut. Her armored fist connected with the alien's jaw, sending him flying backward. The second guard jabbed his staff at her midsection. Elise twisted to the side, caught the staff with both hands, and wrenched it away. With a quick spin, she smashed it across the guard's head. He dropped without a sound. "Nice moves, Commander," Lily commented. "Save the compliments for when we're off this ship," Elise said, breathing hard. She grabbed one of the energy staffs and continued running. She followed Lily's directions, turning right at the second corridor. She encountered no more guards, which seemed strange. "Where is everyone?" she wondered aloud. "Most of the crew appears to be gathered in the forward sections of the ship," Lily said, likely preparing for their arrival at Earth. Elise turned left at the third corridor and saw what she was looking for, a row of small doors that looked like they might be escape pods. She ran to the nearest one and pressed her hand against the door panel. Nothing happened. "Lily, help me with this." "Interfacing with alien technology," the AI said. The armor's fingertips glowed as Lily sent electronic pulses into the alien system. "This will take a moment." Suddenly, Elise heard footsteps behind her. She spun around, raising the energy staff she'd taken from the guard. Princess Zara stood there alone. She wore a different outfit now, some kind of battle armor that made her look more dangerous. In her hand was a small, curved weapon that hummed with power. "Impressive," Zara said. "No prisoner has ever escaped from our containment fields before." "I'm full of surprises," Elise replied, her grip tightening on the staff. "So it seems." Zara didn't raise her weapon. "Where exactly do you plan to go?" "We're in deep space. That escape pod would only float aimlessly until your air ran out. Better than being on this ship when it reaches Earth." Zara tilted her head. "You think we're going to destroy your world, aren't you?" "No." The princess lowered her weapon completely. "We need it intact." "For what?" "For our people." Zara's confident mask slipped again, and Elise saw the same fear she'd glimpsed before. "We need a new home." Elise didn't lower her staff. "There are other planets, uninhabited ones. None that can support our biology. None that have the right atmosphere, the right gravity." Zara took a step closer. "Your Earth is perfect. And what happens to humans if you take Earth?" Zara's eyes slid away from Elise's. "Some would survive, as a worker class perhaps." "Slaves, you mean?" Elise raised the staff again. "That's not going to happen." "You don't understand," Zara said, real emotion entering her voice now. "We have no choice. The Void Eater destroyed our homeworld. It's consumed every planet we've fled to. We're running out of places to go, out of time. So you'll sacrifice my species to save yours?" "Yes." Zara met Elise's eyes without flinching. "Wouldn't you do the same?" Before Elise could answer, the ship shuddered violently. Both women staggered as the floor beneath them seemed to jump. "What was that?" Elise asked. Zara's face had gone pale, her blue skin almost white with fear. "It's here," she whispered. "It followed us faster than we expected." "The Void Eater?" Zara nodded, all pretense of confidence gone. She looked truly afraid now. "We need to get to the command center." She turned and began running back the way she had come. Elise hesitated. She could still try for the escape pod, but curiosity and a soldier's instinct to know her enemy won out. She followed the alien princess. They ran through corridors that were now filled with panicking Vexari. None of them tried to stop Elise. They were too focused on their own fear. Many carried children or possessions, rushing toward what Elise assumed were the safer interior sections of the ship. "Lily, what's happening?" Elise asked as she ran. "I'm detecting an enormous energy signature approaching the ship," the AI replied. "It's like nothing in my database. The closest comparison would be a small black hole." They reached a large door guarded by 4 Vexari soldiers. They raised their weapons at Elise. Elise stared at the viewing screen, watching the dark void grow larger. The Vexari command crew worked frantically at their stations, shouting to each other in their musical language. "What exactly is that thing?" Elise asked, her voice quiet. Zara's eyes never left the screen. "We don't know for certain. Our scientists call it a cosmic predator. It feeds on energy, the energy of stars, planets, life itself. It followed us from our home system, tracking us across the galaxy. How do you fight it?" "We don't." Zara's voice was flat. "We run. That's all anyone can do." The ship shuddered again, more violently this time. Warning lights flashed across the command center. The older Vexari officer called out something in their language. Zara replied sharply, then turned to Elise. "The outer hull is failing. The Void Eater is tasting us." Elise felt a chill run down her spine. "How long do we have?" "Minutes, perhaps. Unless..." Zara gave Elise an appraising look. "Your armor. Our scans showed unusual energy patterns. What powers it?" Inside her helmet, Lily spoke up. "Commander, I advise caution. The integration technology is Earth's most closely guarded secret." But Elise was thinking fast. If this Void Eater reached Earth, nothing would matter anyway. "It's not what powers my armor," she said slowly. "It's what powers me." Zara frowned. "I don't understand." Before Elise could explain, her armor suddenly emitted a warning beep. She looked down to see the chest plate glowing red. "What's happening, Lily?" "The armor is overheating," the AI replied. "The damage from the battle combined with the energy field from the cell in the proximity to this anomaly. Systems are failing, Commander." Elise felt sweat break out across her body as the temperature inside her armor rose rapidly. Her breathing became labored as the oxygen recyclers struggled. Zara noticed her distress. "Your shell fails you, human," she observed. "Remove it, and I will ensure you receive medical attention." Elise raised her head, the cracked visor revealing one of her eyes. "The armor stays on." For the first time, something like respect flickered across Zara's alien features. "Then you choose death over surrender. Perhaps our species aren't so different." The ship rocked again, sending several crew members tumbling from their stations. Emergency klaxons blared throughout the command center. "Hull breach on decks 12. Through 17, one of the officers shouted in accented English, apparently for Elise's benefit. "The void is consuming the lower sections of the ship." Zara turned to her crew. "Evacuate all personnel from the affected areas. Seal the emergency bulkheads." She looked back at Elise. "You need to decide quickly, human. Your armor is failing, and soon this ship will too." Elise leaned against a nearby console, her legs feeling weak as the armor's systems continued to deteriorate. The temperature was nearly unbearable now, and spots danced in front of her eyes as the oxygen grew thin. "Lily," she gasped. "Options." "Commander, the only way to save the armor's core functions is to initiate a partial shutdown and reset," the AI replied. "But that would leave you vulnerable for approximately 3 minutes. No choice," Elise muttered. She looked up at Zara. "I need a safe place, 3 minutes." Understanding dawned in the princess's eyes. "Follow me." Despite her weakness, Elise managed to keep up as Zara led her through a side door and into a small hexagonal room. It appeared to be some kind of private chamber, perhaps the princess's personal sanctuary within the command center. "No one will disturb us here," Zara said, sealing the door behind them. Elise nodded gratefully. "Lily, begin shutdown and reset." "Warning. This will temporarily deactivate all armor functions," Lily cautioned. "Are you sure, Commander?" "Do it." The armor's plates began to shift and separate slightly, releasing built-up heat. The red glow faded and Elise sighed with relief as the temperature began to drop. But then the helmet's display went dark, and she was blind within the sealed armor. "Lily?" No response. The AI was offline during the reset. Elise stood there, vulnerable and blind, counting the seconds in her head. She had to trust that Zara wouldn't take this opportunity to attack her, or take her prisoner again. Outside the armor, Zara watched with fascination as the black plates shifted and realigned themselves. Steam hissed from between the joints as excess heat escaped. "Remarkable," she murmured. "It truly is alive." The ship shook again, harder than before. Even in her isolated armor, Elise could feel the vibration. 1 minute had passed, 2 more to go. Suddenly, the chamber door burst. Open. The older Vexari officer stood there, his face twisted with panic. "Princess, the void has breached the engine rooms. We have lost propulsion." Zara's composure cracked. "How long?" 10 minutes, perhaps less, until complete structural failure. Zara closed her eyes briefly, then looked at Elise's motionless form. "Prepare the royal shuttle. Transfer all command. Functions there. But Princess, the shuttle cannot outrun the void either. I know, but it will give us time." She looked at the officer. "Go. I will join you shortly." After he left, Zara approached Elise. "Human, if you can hear me, we must leave now. The ship is dying." Inside the armor, Elise heard the words faintly. 2 minutes had passed. Just 1 more. She remained still, willing the reset to finish faster. Zara placed a hand on the armor's shoulder. "I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry we brought this doom to your world. We were desperate." The final seconds ticked by. With a soft hum, the armor reactivated. Displays flickered on inside Elise's helmet, and Lily's voice returned. "Reset complete. Core functions restored to 75% capacity." Elise flexed her fingers, relief flooding through her as the armor responded properly again. "Thanks, Lily." She looked at Zara, who had stepped back in surprise when the armor powered up. "I heard you, and I understand desperation." Zara nodded. "Then understand this. We need to get to the shuttle bay immediately, or we both die here. Lead the way." They ran through corridors that were now in chaos. Emergency lights flashed red, and the ship's artificial gravity fluctuated, making it feel like they were running uphill one moment and floating the next. Twice they had to find alternate routes as they encountered sealed bulkheads, blocking off sections of the ship that had been breached. "The shuttle bay is just ahead," Zara said as they rounded a corner. They entered a large hangar where several smaller craft were docked. Most of them were already gone, presumably carrying evacuees. Only one remained, a sleek silver vessel that was clearly designed for speed rather than capacity. The older officer waited at the shuttle's ramp. "Princess, we must depart now." He glared at Elise. "The human cannot come. There is no room." "She comes with us," Zara said in a tone that allowed no argument. "Her technology may be our only hope." The officer looked like he wanted to protest further, but simply bowed and entered the shuttle. Zara gestured for Elise to follow, then boarded herself. The interior of the shuttle was cramped but elegant. A small command area at the front held 3 control stations. Behind that was what appeared to be a living area, with several couches that could probably double as beds. "Secure yourself," Zara ordered, taking the central control seat. The older officer sat to her right, and a younger female Vexari Elise hadn't seen before sat at the left station. Elise found a seat against the wall and strapped herself in. "Where are we going?" "Away from the void," Zara said simply. "As far and as fast as we can." The shuttle's engines hummed to life. Through a viewport, Elise could see the hangar doors sliding open, revealing the star-filled blackness of space. The shuttle lifted off smoothly and shot out of the bay. As they cleared the larger ship, Elise got her first good look at the Vexari vessel from the outside. It was enormous, at least 5 times the size of Earth's largest spaceship. Its crystalline structure sparkled in the light of a distant star, but parts of it were missing. The entire rear section seemed to be dissolving, being eaten away by the darkness that pursued them. Look, the female officer said, pointing to something on her screen. Zara leaned over to see, then straightened up with a grim expression. It's not just following our ship anymore, it's changing course. Where is it going? Elise asked, though she feared she already knew the answer. Toward your solar system, toward Earth. Elise unstrapped herself and moved to look at the display. Sure enough, the dark anomaly was pulling away from the dying Vexari ship and accelerating in the direction of Earth. How fast can it move? She asked. Faster than anything we've ever seen, Zara replied. It will reach your world in hours. Then that's where we need to go too. Elise's mind was racing. Lily, can you communicate with Earth from here? Negative. Commander, the AI replied. We are still too far from Earth communication relays. We need to warn them, Elise said. Your people tried to run and it didn't work. Maybe Earth can find a way to fight this thing. Zara looked skeptical. How? Our weapons did nothing against it. Because you were trying to destroy it, Elise said slowly, an idea forming. But what if we tried something else? What if we tried to redirect it? Redirect it where? I don't know yet. But my people have scientists, engineers. Maybe together, we can figure something out. Elise looked Zara in the eye. Or we can keep running until there's nowhere left to go. The princess was silent for a long moment. Then she nodded. Set course for Earth, she ordered her crew. Maximum speed. Elise woke with a start. She hadn't meant to fall asleep, but exhaustion had claimed her. Her armor felt stiff, the plates not moving as smoothly as they should. A warning light blinked in the corner of her helmet display. Status, Lily? She asked quietly. Neural connectors at 48% efficiency, the AI replied. Armor functions limited, and Commander, we've arrived. Elise looked out the viewport. The blue-green sphere of Earth filled the view, beautiful and fragile. Relief and fear mingled in her chest. Home, but with danger close behind. Zara approached and stood beside her. Your world is beautiful, the princess said softly. I understand why you fight for it. Have you contacted Earth Defense? Elise asked. Zara shook her head. They're not responding to our hails. I believe they see us as a threat. They do. Elise straightened up, wincing as her armor pinched at her shoulder. Let me talk to them. Zara led her to the communication station. The young female Vexari officer moved aside to give Elise access. The controls were alien, but Lily helped her interface with them. Earth Defense Command. This is Commander Elise Mason of the UES Defiant. Authentication code Sierra Tango 974. Do you copy? Silence stretched for several seconds. Then a burst of static, followed by a male voice. Commander Mason? You're alive? We thought you were killed in the alien attack. Negative, Commander Beck. I was captured, but the situation has changed. Elise took a deep breath. The Vexari ship was destroyed by another entity, something they call the Void Eater. It's heading toward Earth now. ETA less than 2 hours. More silence then. What kind of entity? Some sort of cosmic predator that feeds on energy. It destroyed the Vexari homeworld and now it's following them to Earth. And you're with the aliens now? Willingly. Elise glanced at Zara. Yes, we have a common enemy. The Vexari aren't the threat anymore. This Void is. A new voice came over the channel, older and more authoritative. Commander Mason, this is General Porter. We're tracking your shuttle and the anomaly behind it. Our weapons are locked on both. General, listen to me. Conventional weapons won't stop this thing. The Vexari tried. We need another solution. And what do you suggest? Elise hesitated. I'm not sure yet. But I have an idea. We need to allow this shuttle to land. There are only 4 Vexari aboard, including their princess. They have information we need. The general was quiet for a long moment. Very well, Commander. You have clearance to land at Peterson Space Center, but be warned. At the first sign of hostile action, we will open fire. Understood, sir. Mason out. Elise cut the communication and turned to Zara. They'll let us land, but they don't trust you. I wouldn't expect them to, Zara replied. We did attack your defense fleet. You were desperate. Elise's voice softened. I understand that now. The shuttle began its descent through Earth's atmosphere. Flames licked at the hull as friction heated the air around them. Elise felt the familiar pull of Earth's gravity, stronger than the artificial gravity of the alien ship. Lily, how long? Until the void reaches Earth? She asked. Based on its last known trajectory and speed, 96 minutes, the AI replied. And the neural connectors? Continuing to degrade, currently at 42%. Elise nodded grimly. Time was running out on multiple fronts. The shuttle broke through the cloud layer and Elise could see the landscape of North America spread out below them. They were coming in over the western coast, headed toward Colorado, where the Peterson Space Center was located. Your world has so much water, Zara observed, looking out at the Pacific Ocean. Our homeworld was mostly desert with small seas. Water is life on Earth, Elise said. Most species here need it to survive. As do we, Zara said. That's another reason your planet was so perfect for us. The shuttle slowed as it approached the Space Center. Elise could see the landing pad below, surrounded by military vehicles and personnel. Weapons were pointed upward, tracking their descent. Let me go first when we land, she told Zara. Let them see that I'm unharmed and cooperating freely. The princess nodded. As you wish. The landing was smooth. The shuttle settled onto the pad with barely a bump. Through the viewport, Elise could see soldiers taking up defensive positions. Ready? She asked Zara. Yes, but the princess looked nervous, her blue skin paler than usual. The shuttle's door opened and a ramp extended to the ground. Elise walked out first, her hands raised to show she wasn't a threat. The soldiers tensed, weapons still aimed at the shuttle. A tall man with gray hair and a stern face stepped forward. Commander Mason, good to have you back. General Porter. Elise saluted, then lowered her hands. Thank you for the clearance. Porter's eyes narrowed as he looked at her armor. Your suit looks damaged. It's seen better days, sir. Elise turned and gestured toward the shuttle. May I present Princess Zara of the Vexari? Zara appeared in the doorway, her slender form drawing gasps from some of the soldiers. She walked down the ramp with regal dignity, stopping beside Elise. General Porter, she said, inclining her head slightly. I come seeking asylum for my people and alliance against our common enemy. Porter didn't look impressed. Your people attacked us without provocation. We were wrong, Zara admitted. We were desperate and afraid, but now we face a greater threat together. Porter turned to Elise. You mentioned an idea to stop this void creature. What is it? Elise took a deep breath. The void feeds on energy. It tracked the Vexari across space, drawn to their ship's power signature. I think we might be able to create a bigger, more tempting target. Draw it away from Earth. Draw it where? Porter asked. The sun, Elise said. Or rather, just past the sun. If we can create some kind of energy beacon that makes a path leading around the sun and back out of the solar system. The gravitational slingshot effect, a new voice said. A woman in a lab coat approached, her eyes bright with interest. I'm Dr. Kelly, head of research here. You're suggesting we use the sun's gravity to redirect this entity. Exactly, Elise nodded. But we'd need something to attract it first. Dr. Kelly looked thoughtful. We have the prototype Nova reactor. It produces more energy than anything else on Earth. But how would we deploy it? I can answer that, Zara interjected. Our shuttle is faster than any of your ships. We could carry your device. Porter frowned. And why would you sacrifice yourselves? Because we brought this doom to your door, Zara said simply. And because we have nowhere else to go. If Earth dies, we die too. The general studied Zara for a long moment, then nodded. Let's continue this inside. We don't have much time. They moved to a large conference room inside the main building. Maps and data screens covered the walls. Other military officers and scientists joined them, all looking grim. "Show us this void," Porter demanded. One of the technicians brought up a satellite image on the main screen. There it was, a dark spot against the stars moving steadily toward Earth. It seemed to have grown since Elise last saw it. "Current ETA 72 minutes, the technician reported. Dr. Kelly had been studying the readings. "The energy signature is strange. It's like it's bending space around itself. Almost like a controlled black hole, but not quite. The Vexari call it a cosmic predator," Elise said. "It follows energy sources and consumes them." "Then our plan might work," Dr. Kelly said. "The Nova reactor generates a unique energy signature, very distinct. If this thing is attracted to energy, it should follow the reactor like a beacon." Porter turned to another officer. "How quickly can we load the Nova onto the alien shuttle?" 20 minutes, sir. But there's a problem. It needs to be manually activated at a precise distance from the sun. Someone would need to pilot the shuttle." All eyes turned to Zara. The princess straightened her shoulders. "I will do it." "No," Elise said. Everyone looked at her in surprise. "I'll go." Zara shook her head. "This is our responsibility, human." "You don't know how to operate the reactor," Elise countered. "And your people need you. You're their princess." "Commander," Porter said carefully, "you understand this is likely a one-way mission?" Elise nodded. She tapped the side of her helmet. "Lily, neural connector status?" 37% and falling, Commander," the AI replied, her voice audible to everyone in the room. "Complete failure estimated within 5 hours." Porter frowned. "What does that mean?" Elise sighed. "It means my armor is failing, sir. The neural connections between it and my body are breaking down. When they fail completely..." She left the rest unsaid. "Your armor?" Dr. Kelly asked, suddenly very interested. "May I see it?" Elise hesitated, then reached up and removed her helmet. She saw the shock on the faces of the humans in the room. None of them had seen an integrated soldier without their armor before. Her dark skin was crisscrossed with faint lines of light, the external manifestation of the neural network that connected her body to the armor. The lines pulsed gently, following the rhythm of her heartbeat. "Fascinating," Dr. Kelly breathed. "You're symbiotic with the armor." "Yes," Elise confirmed. "All UEDF special forces are integrated. The armor isn't just equipment, it's part of us." Zara was staring at her with wide eyes. "So that's why you wouldn't remove it," she whispered. "It's not something you wear, it's something you are." Elise nodded. "And now it's failing. The damage was too severe. So you see, General, I'm the logical choice for this mission. I'm already on borrowed time." 1 year later, Princess Zara stood on the viewing platform of the new Vexari Human Cooperative Space Station. The large window offered a perfect view of Earth below, a swirl of blue and white and green. She had come to love this view over the past year. "Your Highness," a voice called from behind her. "The ceremony will begin in 10 minutes. Zara turned to see a young human woman in a formal uniform. "Thank you, Lieutenant Dale. I'll be right there." As the lieutenant left, Zara took a moment to straighten her ceremonial robes. Today was important, the official signing of the Earth-Vexari Treaty. After a year of negotiations, the two species had agreed to share Earth. The humans would help the Vexari establish colonies in Earth's most inhospitable regions, deserts and tundra that were perfect for Vexari biology but challenging for humans. In return, the Vexari would share their technology, particularly their advances in space travel and energy production. It was a fair trade, Zara thought, and more than her people deserved after they had brought the Void Eater to Earth's doorstep. The Void was gone now, continuing on its path out of the solar system, following the energy trail laid by Commander Elise Mason. Earth scientists were tracking it, making sure it didn't return. So far, it showed no signs of changing course. Zara closed her eyes briefly, thinking of the human commander who had saved 2 civilizations. She had only known Elise for a short time, but the woman's courage and sacrifice had changed everything. With a small sigh, Zara left the viewing platform and made her way to the station's main hall. It had been designed to accommodate both humans and Vixari, with adjustable lighting and temperature controls. Today, it was set to a compromise that was slightly cool for Vixari and slightly warm for humans, a symbol of their mutual adaptation. The Riadur hall was already filling with dignitaries from both species. Human officials in formal attire mingled with Vixari nobles in their flowing robes. A year ago, such a scene would have been unimaginable. General Porter spotted her and came over. The human military leader had been skeptical of the Vixari at first, but over time he had become one of their strongest advocates. "Princess Zara," he said with a slight bow. "You look well." "As do you, General," she replied. "Is everything ready?" "Yes. We're just waiting for the president to arrive." He hesitated, then added, "And there's someone else who wanted to be here. Someone I think you'll want to meet." Zara tilted her head curiously. "Oh?" Porter smiled slightly. "You'll see. After the ceremony." The signing itself was brief but historic. The President of the United Earth Government and Zara, as representative of the Vixari Council, signed the document that officially welcomed the Vixari as residents of Earth. Applause filled the hall, both human hands clapping and Vixari hands making their traditional gesture of approval, a rhythmic opening and closing of the palms. After the formalities came the reception. As Zara moved through the crowd, accepting congratulations and well wishes, she kept wondering about Porter's cryptic comment. Who could possibly want to meet her that would cause the general to be so mysterious? She got her answer an hour later, when Porter approached her again. "Princess, if you could come with me, there's a private meeting room adjacent to the hall." Intrigued, Zara followed him. The room was small but comfortable, with a round table and several chairs. A single figure stood by the window looking out at the stars. The figure wore a simple black uniform without insignia, and their back was to the door. "I'll leave you two alone," Porter said, and quietly left the room. The figure at the window turned, and Zara felt her breath catch. It was a human woman with dark skin and short black hair. A small scar crossed her left cheek. But what made Zara stare were the faint lines of light visible beneath the woman's skin, tracing patterns across her face and hands. "Hello, Princess," the woman said with a smile. "It's been a while." "Elise?" Zara whispered, hardly daring to believe it. "Commander Mason? But how?" "We tracked your shuttle into the sun. Nothing could have survived that." Elise gestured to one of the chairs. "It's a long story. Do you have time?" Still stunned, Zara sat down. Elise took the chair opposite her. "You're right. The shuttle didn't survive," Elise began. "It broke apart as we skimmed the sun's corona. But seconds before that happened, something unexpected occurred." She paused, seemingly searching for the right words. "The armor, Lily, made a choice." "The AI?" Zara asked. Elise nodded. When the neural connectors reached critical failure, instead of shutting down, Lily initiated a complete integration. "I don't understand." "Neither did I at first." Elise held up her hand, and Zara watched in fascination as the skin seemed to ripple, the lines of light beneath it glowing brighter. The integration process is usually carefully controlled, limited. The armor enhances the human but remains distinct. What Lily did was unprecedented. She merged completely with my biological systems. Zara's eyes widened. "You became one being." "Yes." Elise looked down at her hands. The armor's exterior shell was destroyed, but its core, the nanotechnology that interfaced with my body, survived by completely integrating with me. My cellular structure was altered on a fundamental level, and that allowed you to survive. "In the sun's corona?" "Briefly. Long enough for an emergency rescue." Elise smiled slightly. "Lily had sent a distress signal with our coordinates before we lost communications. A UEDF experimental ship was already on its way, though no one expected, to find survivors. So you were rescued." Zara said, still trying to process this miracle. What was left of me, yes. Elise's expression grew more serious. I was unconscious for 3 months. The doctors weren't sure if I was still human or something else entirely. The integration had never gone this far before. And now? Zara asked softly. Now I'm different. Elise held up her hand again, and this time Zara gasped as the skin seemed to transform, hardening into something that looked like the black armor plates she remembered. I don't need external armor anymore. I can generate it from within when needed. That's remarkable, Zara said. Does it hurt? Not anymore. Elise let her hand return to normal. It took time to learn control, to understand what I had become. The UEDF has been cautious. I'm the first of a new kind of integrated soldier. Maybe the last, depending on how they decide to proceed. Is Lily still there, inside you? Elise's expression softened. Yes and no. We're not separate entities anymore. Her consciousness and mine have merged. I have her knowledge, her abilities, but they're part of me now. One mind, one being. Zara leaned back in her chair, overwhelmed by this revelation. Why didn't anyone tell me you were alive? We mourned you, honored your sacrifice. There's a memorial on Earth with your name. Security at first, Elise explained, while they figured out what I had become, and then timing. They wanted to wait until the treaty was secure. She looked directly at Zara. Some were concerned that if the Vexari knew about me, about what the integration technology could really do, it might affect negotiations. They thought we might want this technology for ourselves, Zara realized. Yes. It's Earth's most closely guarded secret, now more than ever. Elise leaned forward. But I wanted you to know. After everything we went through together, you deserved the truth. Zara was quiet for a moment, processing everything. Then she asked, what happens now? Will you return to active duty? Not exactly. Elise stood and walked to the window. I'm being assigned as the human liaison to the Vexari settlement project. I'll be working directly with your people as they establish their new home on Earth. With me, Zara said, understanding dawning. Elise turned and smiled. Yes, Princess. With you. Zara felt a surge of emotion she hadn't expected. I would like that very much. Your insights would be valuable. Just my insights? Elise raised an eyebrow, a teasing note in her voice. Zara felt the skin of her face warm slightly, the Vexari equivalent of a blush. Your friendship as well, of course. Of course. Elise's smile widened. She held out her hand in the human gesture of agreement. To new beginnings, Princess Zara. Zara stood and took the offered hand. The faint lines of light beneath Elise's skin pulsed gently against her blue fingers. To new beginnings, Commander Mason. Outside the window, Earth turned slowly below them, home now to 2 civilizations that had almost been enemies. And beyond, the stars stretched into infinity, holding who knew what other wonders and dangers. Zara thought back to that first meeting, when she had mocked Elise's armor, not understanding what it truly was. How foolish she had been, how limited her vision. You know, she said, still holding Elise's hand, on my world we had another saying, what seems like armor may be skin, what seems like skin may be armor. It means that appearances can be deceiving, and true strength often lies beneath the surface. I like that, Elise said. It fits. Together they stood in companionable silence, watching the Earth spin below, a human who was more than human, an alien who had found a new home, and between them, a bridge between worlds that had begun when a princess mocked a warrior's armor, never suspecting what truly lay beneath.